Dr. Bhupinder Kohli and Shaybah. Would you like to come up?
Okay. Right. Good afternoon, everybody, and thank you for giving us the opportunity to showcase our quality improvement project. My name is Shaybah. I'm one of the practice managers for First for Health with Church Road Health. I'm going to present to you Dr. Bhupinder Kohli from Church Road Health, who will take the first part of the QI. Thank you.
We're going to split the presentation. Can you hear me, by the way?
Yes.
I'll move this slide that way. I'll do the first part, and Shaybah's going to do the second part. So what was the aim of our project? So the main aim was to try and help palliative care. Palliative care is a really big issue, and we have an issue in our practice with a lot of patients in a nursing home. And what tends to happen is patients don't tend to get to choose to die at home if they want to, or die in a hospital if they want to. So what we decided to do was to make sure that everybody had a Coordinate My Care plan if they're on the palliative care register. So what's Coordinate My Care? Coordinate My Care is a digital register that's a London-wide thing that is for all GP practices or CCGs that have purchased it, and it allows you to put on patients' wishes in a digital format. That is the benefit of is that it can be shared by London Ambulance, it can be shared by local hospitals, St Joseph's Hospice, and general practice. Okay. Quality improvement methodology, you're all familiar with the triangle, the PDSA, and we set some specific aims. And the first aim was to make sure we had a record of all the palliative care patients accurately recorded. We wanted to measure this, our progress, so we've got driver diagrams and graphs to see how we're doing. And attainable, so we set attainable goals and had realistic idea of how to do the PDSAs, and we've had a lot of learning and some quite a lot of difficulties on the way. And we fixed the time to finish in May this year. Now the driver diagram, it's got two primary drivers. The first point was to find out who actually was on the palliative care register was accurate. So there was quite a lot of people on the register who weren't actually palliative. The definition of palliative care is that you expect them to die within the next 12 months. So there was a cleaning up of the record. And the second one, which is a bigger problem, was who's got the time to do the digital care plan? Because they take a long time. They can take up to an hour. And people just don't have the resources to do that. So there's quite a lot of interesting conversations. We were really lucky that all the 6 practices in our network agreed to participate, which is great. We had a lot of support from Jitu, who's in our network, who created an extraordinary general meeting. And to my surprise, we had 18 people from practices who joined up to the Life QI program for this project. So first time I've used Life QI. It's quite rewarding to see that actually it's a great way to collaborate. It's a great way to maybe do primary care networks. This is an excellent process map done by one of our practices at Wordsworth. So we're very grateful to Nazmul for having done that. So thank you. Challenges. A lot of people in our network knew about what is QI, which was great. As I said, we had to identify the patients. People didn't always understand what Coordinate My Care was, so we had to do some education, and again, Nazmul did some help around that. We created a team very early on. So we had 4 or 5 practices out of the 6 who became leaders. So it wasn't just led by us, I think we just kind of facilitated it, which was really rewarding, probably the most rewarding part of the whole exercise. And then we collected some data. Okay.
Yeah.
And Shaybah's going to talk to you about the data.
No, absolutely. So we're thankful for the various departments that we liaise with in order to collect data with the CEG groups, the cluster groups, and EMA searches. How did we record this data? The data we recorded through the Life QI platform, the Coordinate My Care, and patients' records itself. It was fantastic to be able to do networking, again, with the various groups in order to obtain the data itself. And it's been brilliant to actually network with our clusters. Okay, so as you can see, from an example of one of the practices in our clusters, so from our starting point for our CMT and palliative care patients, as you can see there has been an increase from 33% to 83%, which is a brilliant change, and that change has been directed through various cluster meetings. We've had various support systems from the QI facilitators. Here's another example of another practice who's doing a quality improvement. And as you can see, again, they've been addressing change from 72 to 82%. And even though we're progressively achieving our aim, every single step that we do makes us go one step closer. Okay, and here's another diagram just to demonstrate the data as a cluster itself. As you can see, the palliative care patients, the patients with CMC and patients with DNR had a certain trend itself. And what was brilliant about that is that it had an impact with the engagement we've had, the meetings that we've had, and so forth. And yeah, as you can see, again, some other data. These are the various changes that we've went through that can represent the data, as you can see, the cluster meetings, the change aims, and so forth. What's brilliant about this is that there is always an improvement. Yeah, every single step that you take causes a result. Okay, we use the Live QI platform, which is fantastic to use for our measures and so forth, and that platform itself can be shared across various practices so that everyone can log in and keep up to date. And within that, we used drive diagrams, we used our results. Okay. There you go. What have we gained?
Doing very well. You do well.
Thank you.
Going.
Okay. So what have we gained? At the end of the day, as I said, the outcome measurement is not the goal. Yeah, improvement is. And as you can see, a small change can have a big impact. So us as a team have broadened our understanding of QI. We've been able to network with individuals, been able to make an impact on our patients' care at the end of the day. And what's been fantastic is that this can continue on with different projects in the future. Okay. What is next?
So we're going to continue sharing QI with other stakeholders on a wider scale, and we hope to be able to share our work with other clusters in Newham. And I think maybe extend the audit work and maybe include other trusts and hospitals involved in it. And we wanted to thank everybody, they're all there, for helping us do this excellent piece of work. Anything else, Shaybah?
No, thank you very much. I wanted to thank you everyone as well. We've got our aim poster if anyone wants to have through. I hope that we've enabled everyone to be ambitious to incorporate QI in a daily life and in their practice. Okay. So thank you very much for the opportunity. Any questions?
Thank you guys. You've done phenomenally well in terms of improving palliative care recording and care plans, but not only that, you've demonstrated what collaborative working looks like. I know I keep using that word, but I have to say again that this cluster in particular were united in their thinking, but it wasn't without the challenges and the hard work. They mentioned the extra cluster meeting that they did, in their spare hours, but then it's united all of you, and you've made great progress. So well done, you guys. Now, just very quickly, 2:30 sliders. I'm really sorry, but you may have to leave to go down the slide if you want to take that opportunity. If you could just stand up and make your way towards Ruth, and Shannon will take you down there. In the interest of time, we are just going to press on into the break with the next presentation, and we will have question and answers later. In the next break, do also take your time to look at some of the posters that have been submitted, as Shaybah mentioned. We also have 2 submissions from AT Medics. Dr. Maneeb Chowdhury is sitting quite closely to his poster, and he will be happy to talk you through his work. So do network and stay behind during the breaks to try and fit all of that in.